Alright, so once again, if you do not have your notebooks ready, please get your notebooks or a piece of paper ready. Today's lessons, we're switching over to the metric unit. So our title of today's is Metric Units of Length. And what I like about this one is that it's always multiplied like tens or hundreds, so it's really easy to change because you just have to count the number of zeros. So let's go ahead, we've got our title, and now let's go ahead and write our chart. So the first one we have is 1 centimeter, and that's how you spell it out, and then your short way is just cm. Okay, 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. Oops, 2 L's. And then the short way is mm. Okay, so then our next one is 1 decimeter. If you notice, we have the meter in every word. So this one, you guessed it, is dm. Because it's cm, you got dm, mm. So, because it's all millimeters. Oh, and I forgot to skip lines, sorry. All right, and that equals 10 centimeters. So I'm going to use the small way to write that. So centimeters, remember? Well, actually, I'm going to go ahead and write the word because I think that will help us later. That's going to help us with our conversion if I have the words on this one. All right, so now we're going to do 1 meter. And there's only one m there, so it's just m. 1 meter is 10 decimeters. And remember, that's dm. All right, and then 1 meter, still our m, is 100 centimeters. And then 1 meter is also equal to 1,000 millimeters. Oops, and this one is mm, and this one is cm. This might be a good place to pause your video so you have your chart. If you noticed, the biggest one is your meter and your smallest one is your millimeters, and you can use your other chart from the other day if you wanted to know the order of how they go. It would be, you've got your millimeters to your centimeters to your decimeters to your meter. That's from the smallest to the biggest, and then the biggest to the smallest is meter, decimeter, centimeters, and millimeters. All right, so I'm going to draw a line under here. Okay, so right away I'm going to go ahead and write my chart. I'm going to divide this into, actually I'm going to divide this part into 3. We're going to do 3 examples. Okay, so we've got our in, our think, and our out. Okay, so our problem is going to be, I want to know how many millimeters is 3 centimeters. Equals box of, if you guys want to write the short way to write it, you can. That's up to you. Okay, so that means I have to find centimeters to millimeters, and that's actually my very first one, so that's going to be in my chart. So 1 cm is the same as one group of 10 millimeters. So that means that my first is one group of 10. Now I look over here to my problem, but I have 3 centimeters. So that means I have 3 groups of 10. So that means 3 centimeters is really 30 millimeters. And this is why I like these so much, because it's just multiplying. We do 3 times 1 and add that 0. So that means my answer here would be 30 millimeters. Now, if you don't have the chart, it's going to be a lot harder, so make sure you use the chart. All right, so let's do another one. We're going to draw our in and out. In, think, out. All right, and our problem is going to be, I want to know how many centimeters are 5 decimeters. Okay, so I got to find where it says centimeters to decimeter, or decimeters to centimeters. So I find my decimeter goes to centimeters. So this means 1 decimeter, 1 dm is the same as 10 centimeters. All right, so oh, look, it's the same thing. It's 1 times 10. So now I've got 5. So I got 5 decimeters. So that means I have 5 groups of 10. And then it's 5 times 10 is 50 centimeters. All right, now we're going to do one that looks a little different. All right, this one looks like, I want to know, I have 4 meters, and I want to know if that's greater, oops, my pen is not working, greater or less than 40 decimeters. All right, so that means I still am going to use my think chart for this one. I'm thinking of it like fractions. I can't compare them till they're both in the same measurement. So I'm going to change my meters to decimeters. So I'm going to go in, think, out. So when you get one of these, you have to think to yourself, okay, I have to have them to compare them, they both have to say the same thing. So I'm going to take my decimeters and I'm going to change it to meters. So I'm going to come up here for my meters and decimeters. So my in is 1 meter is 1 meter is 10 decimeters. Okay, so that's going to be my 1 times 10. So how many meters go in? 4. So I'm going to do 4 meters. So it'll be 4 times 10. So that means 4 meters is the same as 40 decimeters. Okay, so then I've got to put 40 right here, now that I've changed it. Now what do I notice? 40 and 40, they're the what? They're the same, so then this would be equal. So even if you have if it's set up like this, you're still going to do your think chart, and you always want to make it to be the smaller one, the decimeter one. Or you want to make them to be both the same. All right, so today is another Think Central where you watch the video, and then the Google Doc that looks just like this. Remember, this chart right here is what you need. to, and I have it actually on your chart already on your Google Doc, so you do not have to write it on there, but you do want to use this when you're trying to do your problems on Think Central. Make sure to write your work in your notebook for your Think Central assignments.